Hello, thanks for joining me for your in-depth monthly horoscope for February for the Sun and the Ascendant. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you'd like to talk to me directly, you can do so on Twitter, or if you'd like a one-to-one consultation, please see the link beneath this video and check out my testimonials. Also, if you want an immediate analysis of what the future holds for you based on your time, date and place of birth, my affordable written reports, you can get 30% off on a special offer. If you get your character analysis too, please see the link beneath this video as well. Hello Libra, and welcome to your in-depth forecast for February 2021. Well, the first day of this month is dramatic because your ruler Venus moves into its most glorious location for you personally. Yes, the sign of Aquarius, your fifth house, which is very much to do with what Venus can bring to our lives. It can bring a sense of attractiveness, a sense of allure, and it also can be very playful in this location, and it's going to be here through to the 24th. So that's something to really savor. Also, the Sun and Mercury and Jupiter, the planet of growth, and also grumpy Saturn, they retain their presence in this location too. But I'd rather have the grumpy Saturn in your fifth solar house than your fourth solar house, where it had been for the two previous years, all but the point from the 22nd of March through to the 2nd of August 2020. And why is that? Because Saturn in this area is asking you to work hard at your talents, and you have no lack of those, particularly creatively. Jupiter is not only about growth, it can be about fortune. And also Mercury, although it is in retrograde through to the 21st, again, better to have Mercury retrograde in this location than in the previous sign of Capricorn, because all that energy that was clustered a year ago in the sign of Capricorn was really hard to wear when it came to your emotional life, your home, family situation, or even your own relationship with your inner needs. All of it has created quite a lot of strain. Now, Pluto, the planet of transformation, does retain its location in the sign of Capricorn. So you're not completely transited out of that situation, and there may be still one relationship that's given you a lot of food for thought, and that could be with Mercury retrograde. What does see you thinking very carefully in the first part of this month, because the Sun, glorious in Aquarius for you, is in quite a big conflict with Mars, the planet of passion, which is in the deep 8th house. This is very sexual, to be honest, and it's very much about desire in general. That could be for loot, it could be for property, it could be to be more successful business-wise. And the right angle between these two could make you more impatient about pushing for what you really want in your life. And if it's around your love life where you feel there is a lack of drama, a lack of spark, a lack of attraction, a lack of seduction, then you could really be thinking twice. But equally, if you're trying to get to know somebody new, this is not the time to try too hard. So taking unnecessary shortcuts in order to try to get your needs met is going to be counterproductive. It's also true that from the 3rd to the 9th, Venus is challenged by Saturn, and that can be a really tricky aspect. I can only be truthful about that, because if we think about the energy of Saturn, it's limiting, it's restrictive, it's cold, but it's also very practical. So if there's a relationship you want to become something more, this could be a point of commitment. But if you're in a relationship which is really not meeting your needs, you'll see it as even more of a glass half empty situation. What you're going to do about that is entirely up to you. The stars are not telling you to do anything, they're just giving you the background information. But Saturn and Uranus are clashing for the whole of this month. They will be through the first 6 months of this year. And if you think about Saturn in your 5th house, which is already asking you to think carefully about your talents, but also your love life, your relationship with your children, if you have them, and Uranus, which is in the radical 8th house, which is all about phoenix rising from the ashes, what does that square suggest? Well, it's almost like trying to drive a car with the handbrake on, particularly if you're not using sat-nav and you're just trying to drive on impulse and just following the road signs. You could get into a bit of a tight spot. So this just points again towards not being too quick to jump to any conclusions, but with Uranus and Mars really so active and energized in your 8th house. The 8th house is about psychology, but it's also about desire. So Uranus here could see you being very innovative when it comes to a financial idea. Perhaps the entrepreneurial side of your nature is going to come out, and Saturn's just saying to you, look, your idea is absolutely fabulous. Let's just really research it very diligently, and then when you go to a financial institution for the support to launch it, they're going to be much more receptive to you. But if you try to rush it, that can lead to feeling rather exasperated. It could give you some headaches. You could feel really hemmed in. So for all of us, it's like working at a speed that is sustainable. Now, on the 8th, the retreating Mercury does go into a conjunction with the Sun. But this can be very, very positive, you know, because Mercury and the Sun, when they're absolutely together, can be called Casmini, can be called combust, can create moments of ingenuity. And also it's possible that you will hear from someone that you're attracted to, or hear from someone that you're working with on a creative project, and that can be a very positive discussion. Please don't see Mercury retrograde as all negative. There are so many people who put that message out there, but if you've got a creative talent that you're not using well and to the fullest extent, Mercury retrograde saying to you, dust it down. Show people just how talented you are. Don't sit back, go for it. But from the 4th through to the 10th, your ruler does clash with Uranus. So once again, if you're in a relationship where you can't breathe, where you feel the other person is dull, there's no spontaneity, it's not exciting, they don't understand you, there's no real insight, no spark, no flame, no desire, then this aspect really could push you to make a change. But on the 11th, there's a fabulous new moon that links innately in a semi-sextile to Pluto in your sector of emotion. So this is going to guide you over the next month, that around any important decisions, you will instinctively stay in touch with your emotions with the help of Pluto, providing you're prepared to transform your situation. If you're looking to resist change because you just want to keep to the safest option, then I do think that can be a more challenging new moon. Now in week 2, Venus and Jupiter, the two benefics, Venus your ruler, the lesser benefic, Jupiter the greater benefic, come together gloriously. If you're single, somebody on the back of that conjunction and the new moon can really take your breath away. It's that good. On the 18th, however, the Sun does move into the practical 6th house, Pisces. Now you've had Neptune there since 2012, which has made you very sacrificing at times. Your compassionate nature, especially if you work in a healing, caring, therapeutic, hospital, service, food-based industry, you may have done very well during that time. But I also feel during that time there's been times when you've felt that it's all give and no get. What the Sun does is bolster the get, because it can give you more physical vitality, but in the sign of Pisces it also helps you to move with things because it's mutable. It's joined by your ruler on the 25th. Venus likes being in Pisces, so if you don't have that wonderful connection with someone at the heart of this month, you could meet someone just in the most practical and unexpected of places in the last 10 days. Now Mercury ends that retrograde on the 21st, so we're all going to be whooping for delight despite it having an upside, but it doesn't come out of shadow until mid-March. So if there is a creative plan you've got, it involves your flair or artistry, just be aware it may be a bit stop-start. Some of the hopes you have at the outset of this month may actually make way for something else which actually delights you more, so just stay with the process. The 27th though does see a potentially tricky full moon. It occurs in your 12th house of secret enemies, psychology, the shadow side of our nature, the bit that we're not so aware of. Now, with my Libra ascendant at 23 degrees, I've been very affected by the Pluto and Saturn transit of the last couple of years. But what I would say for all Libran type people, if there is some psychological stuff or some part of your being that you're still not bringing in and welcoming, if you're still not quite accepting some of your vulnerabilities, this full moon may push you to do so, not least because somebody may confront you about something in rather a sudden way due to the fact that Uranus is active on both the Sun position and also the Moon. But you know, not in a bad way. It's a sextile and a trine, so it could be enabling. But if you're one of those type of people who likes to always think that everything has to be okay, that you're thinking about the impression that you're making, very Libran to be honest, this particular full moon is saying, look, drop the front. This is time to be much more inclusive about the things you are fearful of. If you feel low on energy, don't just blame it on practical and physical issues. Think about your spirit, think about your psychological impulses. Think about what you're asking from the universe. Are you setting your intentions? Are you giving yourself time for healing, for rest, for meditation, for joyfulness? That's what that full moon's about. But overall, this is a very positive chart for you. There is also a wonderful sextile between Mars and Neptune in weeks 2 and 3. So if you are looking for a job, it's possible that you can improve your revenue streams and also help someone in the process too. Please stay safe, take care, good luck and goodbye.